Okay, so there's been a couple articles now that have come out. I think Matt Schneidman of The Athletic was the first one. He came out and said that the Packers are okay with calling Aaron's bluff. And then they've even dove into how much money it'll cost Aaron. And I think it's only like $6.8 million out of his pocket back to the Packers that he would have to pay for them to get a part of his signing bonus that he allegedly didn't earn, maybe much like a Calvin Johnson situation. But he could lose out on like $23 million or something like that. Is that an overwhelming feel around the league that they're going to do that? Is there, because this June 1 designation with the money potentially being saved for the Packers if they were to trade him, do you feel like there's no chance Aaron Rodgers gets traded at this exact moment, or what are your thoughts on that situation?
I don't feel like it's a very good chance he gets traded at all. I mean, if you're going to do it, which, again, I don't think they will, you would have done it before the draft just to make sure you're set. And you know, the best value for draft picks is when you're about to use them. Like if someone trades for a 1 next year's draft, like that's great, but you're not going to see it for a full year. So like congratulations, but you know, there's not the instant gratification you get from doing a deal right before this draft. So but I don't think the Packers are doing it anyway. And yeah, I mean, Aaron Rodgers, if he retired, would have to pay back $23 million in a signing bonus, which, you know, I think it's 11.5 a year. If he becomes a host of Jeopardy, I would imagine the salary would basically take care of that. And that would be it. I don't see it more as calling his bluff. I see it more as they are trying to work something out and nothing matters until they do. So, like, they know he's not going to show up. Will they fine him for missing minicamp? Like, maybe. But then if he signs a new deal and this thing gets handled, they'll probably end up giving that money back and baking it into a contract anyway. So I think it's more they're trying to make this right rather than calling his bluff.
Packers apparently plan to call Aaron Rodgers' bluff, is how Pro Football Talk was wording it via Matt Schneidman at The Athletic. Seems like they are going to go ahead and say, nah, we're not trading you. You either have to come back or go elsewhere or retire, and lose out on $23 million and $6.8 million will have to come back. Allegedly, these are all numbers being reported by people who are talking about the situation who might not know the contract exactly, but that seems to be where it's at. Do you see this thing ending? If they're just going to sit in and not give up, does that mean they're going to continue to do everything they can to kind of get this deal done? Or do you think they're just like, yeah, he can fucking be mad all he wants. Go ahead and do whatever you got to do. You're going to have to pay us at some point. Like, there's two different ways to read this, you know?
Yeah, I have no clue really. I've said before, like, I don't know what needs to be done for them to fix things. Like, I don't know how it even begins, but I would imagine this doesn't help. I'm thinking the fact that this is out, but it's also not a surprise to anybody either. Maybe they have been talking. Who knows what they have been going on behind the scenes? But like I said, I don't know what needs to get done for Aaron to be back in Green Bay. I really don't.
The article goes, and it's pretty fascinating because there's a lot of interesting tidbits. This is from The Athletic. Matt Schneidman, who I believe we have had interactions with him on numerous occasions.
Yep.
Good, we like Matt
he's a good guy.
Yep. Matt Schneidman, good guy. According to the NFL's collective bargaining agreement, the Packers have the option to fine Rodgers a maximum of $93,000 for missing all 3 days of mandatory minicamp. $15,500 some for first day, $31,000 second day, $46,000 for third day. If Gunther Kuntz remains firm in his refusal to trade Rodgers, despite June 2nd representing a potential turning point, the 37-year-old future Hall of Famer has two options. It's good writing, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Matt Schneidman, go right. Hey, he took the pen to the pad and did some work here today. He can either work past his feelings about Gunther Kuntz and play for the money, his coaches, his teammates, and Packers fans, or hold firm in his own stance to not play for the Packers and continue costing himself money as he misses every training camp practice. $15,000 mandatory fine per day missed under the new CBA. Regular season games and other team events the Packers could fine him for. According to Corey, if Rodgers, which we don't know who that is, if Rodgers retired for good, he wouldn't collect the remaining $23 million. Okay, so he doesn't have to pay any money back. This money is future money, future earnings. And the Packers could recoup $6.8 million of a roster bonus he recently signed. Okay, so what it would actually cost him, I think, out of his pocket by reading this, is $6.8 million. Yes, $6.8 million is a lot of money, okay? That's a lot of money. I retired, I think, with like $6 million left on my contract. I don't think to Aaron Rodgers, and it was a lot more to me. It was a lot to me. But I just, everybody seems to be out of debt. We're good. I don't really, don't want to focus on kicking the ball still. No, another surgery. I'm going to go fucking do dumb shit on the internet here. We'll see how that whole thing works out. But for him, $6.8 million is nothing. I mean, that's nothing to Aaron Rodgers, especially who knows what his investments are, his contract is. $6.8 million to retire. Do you have any thoughts now that he maybe will retire? Because it only will cost him $6.8 million at the most, it seems like.
No, I still don't think he will retire. I don't think he wants to pay any money back to anybody, though. It's one thing
true.
Let's say somebody's owed $40 million next year, and something happens, they get cut. Like, oh, he just lost $40 million. I try to no. First off, if he never had the money in the account, you can't say like they took money from him or you lost that money.
Future.
You never had it, man.
Yeah, future earnings.
So it's a lot different to not get paid something that you were due 12 months from now compared to paying something back. Like when you have to go into your account, you got to cut a check back. That's a big deal. I think for anybody that has any amount of money, nobody wants to pay their team back. Calvin Johnson's still waiting on money from the Lions, isn't he?
Let's go. That's a good SEGUE, by the way. Allegedly, they're paying him back. At Evan Foxy, our local resident Detroit Lions fan. Hammer Down boys are in here too, by the way. Good to see you guys. I saw we got a little cold, but we turned that right back around, didn't we? Boys are still on a heater. Every once in a while, whenever you're riding that pony into Victory Town, you're going to hit a little bit of a sandstorm. And you guys did that one night. You didn't let it beat you on the other side. I appreciate the Hammer Down boys.
You have to ride the wave.
Yeah, hey. Ride the wave, dude.
That's right.
On your horse.
To a place of no return.
That's right. On a horse with no name, too.
Cowboy.
On a steel horse I ride. And I'm dead on a line. AJ, didn't hear you sing along. Why is that? Because it's not Bret Michaels, dude?
Do you know who sings that?
Yeah, probably Bret Michaels.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what
You don't know.
Is it Bret?
No, it's owner of the Philadelphia Soul.
No, it's John Bond.
John Bond.
Yeah.
John Bond.
Of course it's John Bond, dude. John Bond from Philly, my guy. Bret Michaels from Pittsburgh.
From the Berg.
Yeah, Tampa's guy.
Knew he was a PA guy.
He's a Tampa guy. Let's get to some phone calls.